Welcome to Racing Podcast Express. This is RP Express for Monday, the 22nd of February, and we're going to go over the full results for Camping World Trucks, Xfinity, and of course the Daytona 500. And that race yesterday was very exciting. My goodness! And if you watched it, when I realized that Truex Jr. had second place for pretty much a long time, and I'm looking at my notes here, getting notes ready for Thursday's podcast, Thursday's RP Full Throttle. Truex Jr., according to my notes, had second place starting at lap 124, going into lap 125. And I usually keep track of the top three. But lap, and I'm trying to, so I went back because I want to see how long did Truex Jr. have that second place for. And of course, if you missed it yesterday, Denny Hamlin beat Truex Jr. to the line in .011 seconds, 1/100th of a second, and is made history being the closest win in the history of the Daytona 500, okay? And that's why I'm saying that. But now, I was looking, now the top three back at lap 33 was Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Truex Jr. And then I'm looking, okay? Let's see. So I'm looking. Kyle Busch took the lead at lap 79, but at lap 80, it was Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, top three. All right, and then let's see. Third caution comes out, goes to green, lap 99. Denny Hamlin takes the lead into the restart, and then you had Hamlin, Kenseth, Truex Jr. first, second, and third. Lap 100, the halfway mark. Okay. And we're going to go over these. No, I don't want to give all the notes away. These are show notes for Thursday. I'm just browsing through here. Denny Hamlin went a lot of laps. Most laps for Denny Hamlin in Daytona 500. And so, take a look here, breezing through. I got to lap 124. Going into lap 125, where Truex Jr. was in second. In fact, top three at lap... Denny Hamlin had the lead from lap 28. Now we're here at lap 124, going into lap 125, and the top three was Denny Hamlin, Truex Jr., and Joey Logano. And at this point, I figured Logano's going to try to make a run for it, but Logano just dropped off the radar there for a minute. And then you had around the green flag pit stops, the first round of green flag pit stops at lap 157. And then at lap 365, top three was Kenseth, Truex Jr., Kyle Busch. Then question 5 would come out, and we'll get into the details on Thursday. And then Truex still holding on to second place. And here it is. At lap 176, okay, Truex Jr. drops back down to third for like a short second. And then at lap 178, pops back into second. So he only dropped into third for like a little bit, tiny bit. 77, and then lap 178, bang, back into second. So 177, he was dropping third. 178, back to second. Top three, lap 180, Kenseth, Truex Jr., Kyle Busch. And now you had Matt Kenseth, of course, the number 20 car, holding on to the lead for a good chunk. And you know, before I said, all you got to do, Denny Hamlin was in front. I said, all you got to do is pass Denny Hamlin. Kenseth was in front. I said, all he has to do is pass Matt Kenseth. So I guess most likely the scenario, or the strategy, I should say, is to hold on to second, right? And then as soon as you get down to the last lap, hit the gas, get around Kenseth, and get to the finish line. But Kenseth started fishtailing that last lap, okay? So now here's the top 5 at lap 190. So this is the last 10 laps, okay? top 5 at lap 1990. Kenseth, Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin back in 4th, Carl Edwards in 5th. Logano would switch up to 5th, and he had those 3 lanes of traffic there. If you saw it towards the tail end of that race, they had the 3 lanes of traffic right there. Lane 1 was led by Kenseth. Lane 2 was headed by Logano. Austin Dillon was in the front of lane 3. Then the white flag would come out lap 199. And about that point, all of a sudden, Kenseth starts fishtailing. And then I said, this is the moment Kenseth has to punch the Truex Jr. has to punch the gas and get around. So they hit that gas. Before you knew it, here comes Denny Hamlin. And they were bumping each other, and everyone saw it, that last stretch, right when they bumped each other, right before they went across the line. And here I am, taking notes, writing down the winner, and I wrote down Truex Jr. I was writing down Truex Jr., and then all of a sudden they announced it that Denny Hamlin got it. I was like, no way. I could have sworn I saw Truex Jr. cross that line first. But it was Denny Hamlin in the 11 car by .011. Yes, 0.011 seconds, 1/100th of a second. So there you go. So keep a lookout for Truex Jr. in the 78 car. Boy, you had a 4-day weekend of racing this weekend, man. You had all started with the Can-Am Duel on Thursday, trucks on Friday, and we're going to get into that on Thursday. We're going to go over the trucks on Thursday. We'll go over a little bit over Xfinity Series on Thursday. But Can-Am Duel Thursday, trucks on Friday, Xfinity on Saturday, the big one on Sunday. And there you go. Racing has started, ladies and gentlemen, and it's pretty cool. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with the results. We'll go trucks, Xfinity, then Daytona in that order. So the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series results from Friday, and that it was the Next Era Energy Resources 250. The winner was Johnny Sauter in the number 21 truck. Okay, second place was young brother Truex Jr., Ryan Truex. He comes in second. He was in the 81 truck. Third place Parker Kilgerman. Brendan Brown comes in fourth. Travis Vapo comes in fifth. Tyler Young in sixth place in the 02 truck. Ben Rhodes in seventh. Daniel Hemrick comes in eighth. Scott Lagasse Jr. comes in ninth. Matt Crafton 10th. Michael Desdier in 11th. Bobby Gerhardt 12th. 13th place is William Byron. Timmy Hill comes in 14th. Timothy Peters, driver of the 17, comes in 15th. Christopher Bell comes in 16th, and of course his truck flipped over with that last wreck as they were crossing the line. John Hunter Nemechek in 17th place, driver of the 18 truck. Tyler Reddick comes in 18th. Austin Self, he drives the 22 truck. He finished in 19th. Grant Infinger finished in 20th. Spencer Gallagher, he finished in 21st place. Chris Fontaine, 22nd. Ben Kennedy, 23rd, driving the 11 truck. And 24th was Cole Custer, driving the 00. He finishes 25th. John West Townley finishes 26th. Austin Theriot, 27th. Daniel Suarez, 28th. Rico Abreu, 29th. 30th place was Jordan Anderson, the 66. Cody Coughlin, the 31st. And Tommy Joe Martin, he comes in 32nd. And there was like 7 laps left, and then they brought out that caution for that big wreck, and brought out the red flag for a half hour. I mean, that was a crazy one. And and then they got this the countdown clock, and we're going to talk about it on Thursday. But here's how the clock works. So there's a countdown clock, the competition caution clock, or the caution clock, I think they're calling it. So the race starts, okay? The clock starts at 20 minutes, and then if there's no other caution by the time that clock runs out, then they call a competition caution. So after that 20 minutes runs out, okay, I know it's going to go to a competition caution. In the event that a caution does come out within that 20 minutes, then that clock will get reset back to 20. So that is the caution clock, as everyone's talking. I think that's what they're calling it. So just so you know about that. So here are the results from. You had some Xfinity Series racing on Saturday afternoon. The Power Shares QQQ 300. And Chase Elliott, first place. And boy, Chase Elliott, man, pole sitter for the Daytona 500. Had a rough day on Sunday. A lot of big drivers had a rough day on Sunday. Dale Jr., Danica Patrick. Danica Patrick wrecks a lot. Dale Jr., he wrecked. And they showed that guy with his hat. He was banging his head just so. And then you had the lady next to him just looking. She had a 24 hat on, so they both were a good day. But the poor guy with Earnhardt Jr. fan. So the winner from Saturday's Xfinity Series race, Chase Elliott, he was in the 88. And second place was Joe Logano in the 22. Third place was Casey Kane. Elliott Sadler comes in fourth. Austin Dillon finishes fifth. Darrell Willis Jr. in the number 6 car. He finished sixth. Brandon Jones finished seventh. Daniel Suarez 8th. Blake Koch 9th. Brendan Golan 10th. Eric Almirola in the 98 car comes in 11th place. Justin Allgaier in 12th. Ty Dillon in 13th. Dakota Armstrong finishes 14th. Jeremy Clements 15th. Ryan Reed in 16th finishes 16th. John West Townley in 17th. David Starr 18th. Joe Nemechek in 19th. Ryan Sage in 20th. Finishing 21st is Matt Tifft, 24 truck. Ross Chastain finishes 22nd. Bobby Labonte 23rd. BJ McLeod 24th. Jeb Burton 25th, driving the 43 truck. Anthony Compton finishes 26th. Brendan Poole 27th. Chris Carcone 28th. Scott Lagasse Jr. in 29th. Eric McClure in 30th. Finishing 31st is Eric Jones in the 20 car. Joey Gase 32 and 32nd. Ray Black Jr. finishes 33rd in the 07. Kyle Larson finishes 34th. Benny Gordon 35th. Morgan Shepherd finishes 36th. Jeff Green 37th. Martin Roy 38th. Bobby Gerhardt in 39th. And finishing 40th is Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece would wind up dropping out of the race after a wreck on Saturday. So here are the Daytona 500 results from 1 to 40. And they're cutting down to 40 cars because they got that new charter system. The trucks got 32, they're feeling 30, and the Xfinity Series also down to 40. So from 43 down to 40 cars, and so that's what's going on with that. And all 3 series, Sprint Cup, and that all 3 series now have the chase format, so this should be interesting. Some might like it, some might not, but you know, the first time I heard about them doing the Cup format for trucks and Xfinity, they were just thinking about it, so I didn't even think they were going to just do it right so quickly, but they did. And they were talking about it, I believe, towards the end of last year, because we actually talked about it on the Racing Podcast last year, at the end, towards the end, and so